Hello everyone, I'm Alicia, Beadifulnights. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a really cool bracelet using materials from the dollar bead box and the dollar bead bag. And as I've told you before, these are bead subscriptions and they are both different subscriptions. So I'm going to show you how to make a bracelet using beads and chain, and I'm going to be weaving the beads with stringing material through the chain, and I'm also going to show you how to do chainmail at the ends for a fancy looking closure. I'm also working on doing a necklace using materials from the dollar bead box. Now these two here are from the dollar bead box, and so is this chain. These three here are from the dollar bead bag. The necklace I'm working on, I'm also using 6 things from the dollar bead box. So in total, I'm using 12 pieces from the dollar bead bag and the dollar bead box to make a bracelet and a necklace. And as I've told you guys before, when I get sent the dollar bead box, I look through it, I see what I can come up with, and if I could do 1 or 2 videos on using stuff from their subscription, I will. Because I think it's really cool that if you're subscribed to the box, you can make the same thing I'm making. Now I'm trying to stay with most of the things that they send me in my design. So for this, I'm using all of these beads here, which are from the dollar bead box and bag, and I'm using the chain that's from the dollar bead box. The only thing that's mine, material-wise, that I'm using are jump rings, crimps, this lobster claw, and stringing material. So I'm really trying to stick to their materials so you guys can make pretty much exactly the same thing that I'm making. Okay, so let's get started. Here is the list of materials you will need to make a bracelet. You will need 6 feet of 0.010 bead stringing wire. Now if you don't have this size of the bead stringing wire, you can use 10-pound test monofilament, and you will be tying knots with that. With the bead stringing wire, I'm going to try to avoid tying knots, and I'm just going to use crimps. So you're also going to need 8 by 20 millimeter Czech glass tabular oval beads, 6 millimeter Czech glass bicone beads, and these are the yellow jonquil ones that they sent me. You're also going to need 3 millimeter Czech fire polish beads, these are the pink ones, 4 millimeter Czech fire polish beads, these are the blue ones that they sent me, 4 millimeter Czech fire polish beads in white, so I'm using the same size but 2 different colors. And you're also going to need 5 by 6 millimeter oval link chain. Now they send you a foot of this, and I'll show you how I did it, but I basically separated it in half, and I only have 1 extra link. But yours might be different because it might not be down to the link, but I'll talk to you about that later on. You're also going to need 6 millimeter jump rings and 4 millimeter jump rings. Now I didn't count them because I'm not sure how I'm going to put the clasp on. I might need more. I might use 2 of these to put the clasp on, or I might use 1 of those. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. You're also going to need a clasp of your choice, and I'm thinking I'm going to use a lobster claw, and I might use a bigger one depending on how this bracelet fits me. This bracelet is going to be really wide. I think it's about 2 inches wide. I didn't measure it, but I'm guessing it's about 2 inches wide. It's pretty big. It's a statement bracelet. And if you're using the bead stringing wire, you will need crimps. So I have 2 crimps here, and I have the size that, you know, I need, the size 1. And you're also going to need chain nose pliers, and I'm using a bent nose and a regular pair of chain nose pliers. And you're going to need these for doing the chainmail, and you also need them to smash your crimps. So this is a list of materials, and remember, I always put it down there in the description bar, and I'm also going to put the links for the dollar bead box and the dollar bead bag. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should, because it's a really cool bead subscription, and I'm going to try every month to do tutorials using the stuff that they sent me. I think it's really fun. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is make this fancy chainmail piece right here. It's really going to add some awesomeness to the look of our bracelet. It's pretty simple to do. I'm just going to lay this here. We're going to start with the larger jump rings, the 6mm. Okay, and you want to take and use your bent nose pliers just like this, and we're going to pick up 4 of the 4mm jump rings. Okay, so I have this, as you can see, and now I'm going to take my other pair of pliers and I'm going to close it till it's shut. It's a little hard for me to see with my camera in the way. Okay, I have mine shut, so I have 4 on there. And now I'm going to take another jump ring because all of our jump rings are going to be doubled. So I have 2 layers of the 6mm and I have 2 4mm jump rings connecting all of them. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my chain nose pliers and pass through all 4 of these jump rings again. Okay, so I should have this just like that, and now I'm going to close this with my pliers. I want to make sure that I have it as even as possible. I'm always a perfectionist about closing jump rings because I do not want them to get caught on anything. Okay, so now I have this here. Okay, so now I'm going to stack. I hope you can see. I'm going to zoom in some. So now I'm going to stack the 6mm jump rings. So I have this. I'm going to zoom in real quick just to show. See how they're stacked? Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take and grab another jump ring, the bigger one, and I'm going to pick up 2 here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this ring, okay, to 2 of those here. So let's say that I'm on this jump ring here. Okay, I picked up my 4, those 2 there. I'm picking up 2 here, okay, and then I'm going to pick up another 2 and another 2. So I'm actually going to pick up 6 jump rings, and that is kind of a lot. And I've already lost count of how many I just picked up. I got 5. I need 1 more. Okay, I got 6 now. See that? So I have my 6 there. And I'm going to close this, but before I do, I forgot that I have to pick up this. And I'm going to pass through 2 of the jump rings here. I got 1, and I just need 1 more. Like that. Okay, so I actually have 8 of the 4mm jump rings on this ring here, and now I'm going to close this just like that. It's closed shut. Okay, so I have to take another jump ring, and by the way, when I first did this, I sort of had this put together from something else that I previously made. So I actually opened the small ones instead of the big ones to make it. So, but normally when you do this, I think you're supposed to do it with the big jump rings, okay? So I just picked this up. That's the first section I made there. I'm taking this jump ring and I'm going to pass through all of those there. Now I have to copy the one that I just did. So that means that I have to pass through these 2 right here. Okay, and it's a little tricky. I'm trying not to lose or let go Okay, I got it. So just like that, okay? And now I'm going to close this shut. There it is. I twisted it shut. Alright. So let's see. Where's my tweezers at? Here they are. I'm going to zoom in and show you what's going on because it seems really darn confusing. Right here, this is the first part we did, okay? And we added 4 jump rings. So, I wish I had shower curtain rings so I can show you this on a bigger scale. So I have my 2 rings there. Okay, so see these 8 rings here? This here in this spot is the same, okay? I added the 4 rings. And then I picked up 6. So these rings here are going to connect to a ring over here, which that is probably going to be the next one I'm going to add. And then this ring here will connect to this one. And this one is going to connect to that one. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up a ring and I'm going to connect this part right here. And I'm going to be picking up less this time of this one, of this size, that's what I'm trying to say, because I have 2 here and 2 here. So when I go to pick up a jump ring, I'm going to pass through these 4 millimeters, and then I'm going to pick up 4 millimeters, and then I'm going to close my ring. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out, picking this up, and it might be best if I can keep this laying down. I'm going to pass through, I'll zoom in again. If I zoom too close in, my hands go out of frame, so okay. So see there what I just did? I just did that, right? And again, remember I told you we have to pick up 4 new jump rings, so I'm going to pick up 4 new small ones. Okay. And I like to hold my chain nose pliers like this when I close it. Okay, so I got my 4 new ones on there. I'm going to close this now. Okay, now I'm going to lay this back down. Now I only have 1 on there, and we need to have a second one because we layer them, as I've already told you. So looking at this here, I have those 2 there, these 2 here, these 2, bring these up. These 2 right here, these 2 and these 2, they're going to connect to one of these. That's what I'll do later. But first I need to add a second one right here and connect this better. And see how it seems so loose? When you add the second layer, when there's 2 layers, it makes it a lot stiffer. It's so cool. And I actually wonder, maybe not, maybe if I had like a 5 millimeter jump ring, I could do 3 layers. That would be really cool. Anyways, so now I have to pick up another 6 millimeter jump ring and pass through all of these 4 millimeter jump rings. Okay. So let's see, I'm gonna go through these ones first, then actually I'm kind of at the wrong angle for this. I'm gonna hold it like this, pass through these 4, and then I'm going to slide those 4 on, just like that. I hope you saw that. Okay, then close that shut. So now I have this. So again, keep in mind that the first ring we did is right here. This is where our clasp is going to be attached to. So now I'm going to put a ring right here. This ring right there. Okay? So, in order to do that, I'm going to pick up a jump ring, And I need to pass through these two here. Just like this. And if you look, there are two here and two here going in this direction. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick all those up now. Okay, so I just picked up 4. So I passed to the 4 that were there, and then I picked up 4 new ones. Now I'm going to close this shut. You see that? Looks good. I'm going to lay this back down. Now I have to double that ring, so I'm going to pick up another one, and I have to pass through all of these again. Slide these back over here and pass through all of them. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to close this shut, lay this back down. Now I have no more 4mm to pick up. I'm just going to pick up my 6mm jump ring. I'm going to pass through these two right here. Okay, and then I'm going to flip 2 of these jump rings over and pass through them like that. I really hope that I'm staying in frame for this. Now I have that, and I have to double the ring, so I'm going to get a second one. Passing through all 4 of those again. Closing it shut. Okay, have that side done. And now I just have these 4 here. So getting another ring. I'm going to pass through these here. Just like that. Close that shut. I have 1 ring left. And again, I'm going to double this. So pass through those 4 again. And then close it shut. Alright, so now I have it complete. So you're going to want to go ahead and take your chain, your footed chain, and I wish I had a needle here. I don't have a needle. Here, let's pretend this is a needle, this bulldog clip wire thing. You want to take your chain and you want to put the ends on, both ends, okay? And let's also pretend that I didn't open this chain and this chainmail isn't attached. So what you're going to want to do is take a needle, hold the chain up like this, okay, so it's even. Put it together, and if you have it even, but you might have 1 extra link, that's what I did. You're going to want to open the extra link. You want to have the same amount of links on each side. It has to be exact in order for this to work, okay? So once you have the same amount of links on each side, then you're ready to do the next step, which is attaching a piece of the chainmail at the end here. You don't want to put both of these on yet because this is going to be in the way, and we're not sure yet how long we want this to be, so you're only going to want to attach one end like I did right here. I just put the chain link directly onto the chainmail, and then we're ready to weave our beads in. To make this easy to work with as we're weaving the beads, it's a really good idea to attach the chain to your bead mat. So I have a beading needle here, and I'm just going to pass the needle through the back of my mat. Okay, I'm going to come out I'm going to pass through the first 2 chain links there at the top. I hope you could see that. And then I'm just going to go back into the bead mat. And you want to have about 1.25 inches to make space for your beads that we're going to be adding, okay? So just like that, it's going to hold our chain down in place, as you could see. So now you're free to move your chain, and it's going to stay right where we need it to, okay? So now that we have it in place, we are ready to start weaving our beads. I went ahead and I cut my 6 feet of the bead stringing wire, and I'm going to start by passing my wire through the 3rd link of my chain. So if you look right here, I have a chain link that's going straight, and then I have one that's open, and then I have another one that's going straight. I want to go through the one that is laying straight, and you want to make sure that your chain is laying straight before you pass through it, okay? So I'm passing through that link there, and I'm going to go through my first bead, which is this big one here, okay? And then I'm going to go straight across to the other side. So I skipped 2 links here and I went to the 3rd one. I'm going to do the same here. Skipping these 2 links, I'm going to pass through the 3rd one. Just like that. And I'm going to bring this down. Try to get it centered. It doesn't have to be dead center because we're going to have to adjust it more. Okay, and then on each needle, or not needle, bead stringing wire, I'm going to pick up my 4mm Czech fire polish bead, and I'm also going to pick up a bicone on each wire, and then I'm going to pick up another 4mm and slide those down just like that. I'm going to take my wire on this side over here. As you could see, I'm coming through this chain link here. I'm going to skip this one here that's open facing us, laying open facing us, and then I'm going to go through this one here that's straight. Okay, so skipping this one, going through the 2nd. Just like this, and I'll pull it through like that. You don't have to pull it snug. Not yet. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure my chain is straight. Coming out of this one, skipping this one, I'm going to go through the 2nd link. Okay, just like this. And now I have this. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up my next beads, which are going to be here. So, since I am right-handed, I'm going to take the right wire and pick up 5 of these. And by the way, you only get 50 of these, and you need every single one of them, I think, at least for the size bracelet I want to make. I haven't put the other end on, so because I've already made this and taken it apart, but I haven't made it completed, so I don't know how long it's actually going to be until I get the whole thing weaved. So I just picked up my 5 beads, and I'm going to take my other wire and I'm going to crisscross through all 5 4mm like that, and I'm going to bring this down. Okay, straighten my chain out just like this and bring it down. I'm going to take my wire here on my left side, and I'm going to pass through the same link that I'm already going through, and while I'm at it, I'm going to pass through the blue 4mm bead like that. Okay, and be careful if you're using bead stringing wire, it can kink at this point. You want to be careful that it doesn't kink, as it can break. Okay, now I'm going to go and do this side, passing again through the same link that we're through right now, and also passing through the 4mm bead. Okay, now I'm going to open this up like that, and I'm going to find the ends of my wire. I need to make sure that my ends are even, because I don't want to run out of wire on one side, because that would mean I would have to take it apart and do it again. So I don't want to run out of wire. So I'm going to put my fingers in here. I'm going to pull in these 2 loops. I'm going to pull my ends, okay, and then make sure I have the center, and I'm just going to bring it down like that. just like that, okay? And I'm going to check, grabbing them from here, and they are the same, so we are good to go. So this is what I have so far. It's going to be so neat. And because I always watch TV when I bead, I find it good to pick up your next beads and lay them down, because it kind of tells you what you have to do next. So I did right here, I did this large bead, and then I have my white beads, and up here I have my yellow bicones, and now I'm going to do the pink rounds on the sides. So I'm going to take the ends of my bead stringing wire and pick up my 2 3mm Czech fire polish beads, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just like that. And I'm going to slide all of these down. Holding your chain, you lift it up, make sure your chain's laying straight. I'm going to skip over this link right here that's facing open towards us. And then there's a link again that's going straight. So I'm going to pass my bead stringing wire through this link, and I'm going to put my big bead here and pass through it too. Okay, and then I'm going to come out over here, and again skipping this link, we're coming out of here, skipping this link, we're going to pass through here. So we're only skipping one link, just like that. Now while I'm passing through here, I might as well pass through this bead here. So this bead is going to be turned like this, okay? So I'm going to pass through it this way, so we're actually crisscrossing through it. So when I pull it, I have this, okay? So now I'm going to take this wire on my left side. I'm already going through that blue bead. I'm going to take the wire, pass the same length that we're going through now, pass through my large bead, pass through the same length over here, and then I'm going to bring this down, this bead down, and we're going to cross through this bead too. Like this. And be careful it doesn't kink. This would be the spot it would always kink on you if you're not careful. So just like that, go ahead and pull this very tight. I've always noticed that when I work with the bead stringing wire, if you don't pull it tight right after you do a section, you won't be able to pull it tight in the next section. It's not slippery like monofilament. Monofilament is very slippery, and a lot of things that I make, I can adjust it a lot, but with bead stringing wire, it's not very slippery, okay? So now I have this, okay? So I'm going to pick up my next beads. So I just did the pink here. So I have the yellow, the pink. Next color on the side is going to be the bicone. That's yellow. And got my blue rounds here. And my center beads are going to be the white ones, okay? And I can't really lay them down and go through them straight. That'll take forever, so I'm going to pick those up. So I'm going to take my needle, but we can try it another way. I'll show you. I keep calling this needle. It's not a needle, it's bead stringing wire. I'm going to pick up my wire, pick up my 6mm bicone. I'll slide those down now. My chain, again, I want to make sure it's laying straight, so again I have the link here that's facing open towards us, and then I have the link that's facing straight. I'm going to skip over this one and pass through this one here. Okay. And this time, so, you know, if you don't want to pick up 5 of them and crisscross through 5, you could do it like this. You could pick up 5, okay, 3, 4, 5. There is another cat here. I'm totally cursed with cat hair. I only have 1 cat, and it's like I have 10. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so I picked up my 5 4mm beads. And coming through this link, I'm going to make this one straight. I'm skipping over 1 link, and I'm going to pass through this one. Make sure it's laying straight. Just like this. Careful that it doesn't kink. Okay, so now I have this. So I'm going to take this wire. So basically what I'm doing is I'm pretending that the white beads are that big clear and blue one there. So with my left wire, I'm picking up my 4mm, my bicone, oops, I messed it up. It's bicone, and then my 4mm. Slide that down. I'm just going to take this wire right here and pass through this bead. So we're crisscrossing our ends through it, basically, is what we're doing. Okay, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to take my left wire and I'm going to pull this straight. I'm going to pass through my chain link through all 5 of my white beads and through this one over here, just like that. Okay, and then pull the ends tight. Now, some things that I have done by accident is I've accidentally skipped passing through the blue bead and I continued on to the next row. And if that happens to you, you will know, because it will lay really funny, and you can go back and fix it. Okay, so now I have this, and I'm going to do the next one, which is my big bead here. I have my yellow ones here, so that means I'm going to be doing my 2 pink on the sides now. So it's yellow, pink, and I also need 1 blue bead. Okay, so taking my wires, I'm going to pick up my 2 pink ones and my blue one on each side, and my blue one. Slide these down, pulling your chain straight. I'm going to take this wire, make sure my chain is straight, very, very important. I'm going to take this wire, skip over this link, pass through this big bead. Skipping this link, I'm going to pass through this one here, and again while I'm at it, I'm going to pass through this one. So I have this. Then I'm going to take my left wire, pass through this link here, same link we're already going through right now, through my large bead, through this link over here. Did I make it through? Looks like I went under it. I can't see. Okay, I'm through it. And then I'm also going to go through the 4mm, just like that. Okay, and bring that down. And pull that snug. So now I have this. It's very cute. So again, I'm going to pick up my next colors. I just did the pink on the sides. Now I'm going to do the yellow on the sides. I need a blue one there, and I'll be picking up 5 white. So with my right wire, I'm going to pick up my bicone, my blue bead. Oops. I'll slide those down. And pulling this straight, skipping over this link, I'm going to pass through the next one. I'm going to pick up my 5 4mm, 2 left, so there's 5. I'm going to pull this straight. I'm skipping over a link again, and I'm passing through the next one. Just like that. I'm going to take my left wire and pick up the yellow one and the blue one. And since I have it in my hand, I'm going to take my right wire and just crisscross through it. Just like that. Okay, so I have this, and I probably need to adjust my camera some there. Okay, I'm going to take this wire here, pass through this link that we're already going through 5 white beads, through the link again that we're passing through, and through my 4mm. Careful it doesn't kink right here. Okay, and then pull this tight. So I think I'm going to do this one more time for you guys, okay? Then you could do the rest by yourself. And if you understand this, go ahead and fast forward it. So my next bead is going to be this one. I just did the yellows. That means I need my pinks. And I need 1 blue on each side. Okay. I got my wires, and I'm going to pick up my pink beads on each side and my blue one on each side. Slide that down. Make sure the chain is straight. I'm going to take my right wire. I'm going to skip over this link and go through this one. And while I'm at it, pass through this big bead. Coming out the bead, I'm skipping over this link and I'm going through the second one. Just like that. Taking the other wire over here, I have to pass through that blue bead, so I'm going to take my right wire again, pass through this blue bead with this right wire. Okay, so I'm crisscrossing my wire through this bead. So when I bring it down, it should look like this. Then I'm taking this wire and I'm passing through this link that we're already going through my bead, through this link here, and I'm going to slide this bead down and pass through that too. Just like that. Okay, and pull it snug. So the next color to do, we just did the pinks on the side, will be a yellow on each side, a blue on each side, and then 5 white in the middle. Okay, so it's pretty easy to do. Just if you're like me and you're watching TV as you're doing this, actually you're watching me while you're doing this. I don't know why you thought of that. I just like to lay my beads out before, you know, I go to do it, because I'm not paying attention, and I'll do 2 yellows in a row on the sides. So anyways, keep going doing this weave until you get to the other end, and I'll show you what to do next. So I kept on going weaving, as you can see, and I put a needle here through the last 2 chain links because I wanted to go like this and stretch it out, make sure that it's as long as it can be, so I can measure it. And I set the rest of my chainmail here, and I just have a lobster claw sitting here. I didn't crimp the ends yet. I didn't attach this. I just wanted to see how long it's going to be. So from chainmail to chainmail, it is 7 inches long. So I'm using all 10 of these beads here, and I'm using all 50 of the 4mm Czech fire polished beads. So this being 7 inches now, and by the way, it is 1.5 inches wide, and whenever you make a piece of jewelry, a bracelet, that is really wide, it's going to feel smaller. So if you normally make a 7.5 inch bracelet and you have a really wide bracelet, when you put it on, it's going to feel tight. So I like to wear 8 inches. I can wear 7.5, but I like to wear 8 inches because I can slide it up my arm when I wash my hands so my jewelry doesn't get wet, because you know, over time, washing your hands, getting your threads and stuff wet will be wear and tear on your jewelry. So I always like to go with an 8 inch. So anyways, it's 7 inches now. I'm going to add the lobster claw on there, so it's like 7 3/4, maybe 8 inches when I put my jump rings on. And I'm thinking that this might be a little tricky to put on, so I am wondering if I should do a little extension chain to make it easier to put on. So I'm not totally sure on what I'm going to do for my clasp. I might choose a toggle. I might do this and add an extension chain. I don't know. That's still something I have to decide on what I want to do with. So I do want to tell you guys something. You may notice that your bracelet, as you're weaving it, is not laying completely flat. You can fix that. What you want to do is take your beads and pop them all to one side of the chain. And you're probably like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Well, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to flip this over. So I have all my beads right now popped up to the top. You're seeing my beads on the top. I'm going to flip this over and look. Can you see a difference there? My chain is popped to the back. See how exposed my chain is? It's really sticking out. So when I flip it over again, you could see more of my beads. The chain is on the back side. I hope that makes sense to you. Here you can really see it. See that? The chain is on the back side. So what I did is I just pushed all the beads to the front. I pulled the sides here, okay, as I was doing it, popping the beads towards me, pulling the sides as tight as I can, and you will have some slack. You'll see some loose wire as you go, and I thought I had it pretty tight, and you'll think that you have it pretty tight, but you will find loose wire because of how the beads are laying like this. The center beads are laying like this throughout the middle of the chain, and you'll see that as you're weaving this. So anyways, I popped them all forward, and I pulled the sides very tight as I went, and I did it maybe 2 to 3 times to get it really tight. And now I am down here and I'm ready to close this off. But here's the dealio. I'm going to use crimps, right? And I want my crimps to be hidden. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open my bracelet back up. Okay, I have to find my crimps. They're over here. Here's my crimps. I'm going to open my bracelet back up. I'm going to pull this side out. And I'm going to hide my crimp under the chain link, but I can't smash the crimp while it's inside the chain link. So what I'm going to do, gotta be careful I don't lose these white beads. It's the only 5 I have left. What I'm going to do is I am going to take my pliers, okay? I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to open up this ring right here. So I was passing through this link here, okay? So I'm going to open this link and I'm going to open this one right here. This is the link that I was passing through, okay? And this chain from Dollar Bead Box, oh my god, it is an awesome chain. It is so hard to open. It is really strong. Very good quality. Okay, so I'm opening the chain. Set these to the side because we're going to put them back on. I'm going to do this side now. I'm going to open this one here. If I can grip it. Oh, it is so strong. Okay. Set that to the side. So now I have this. And as you could see, it got loose on me, so my white beads popped to the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my beads over here. Bring them on back. There's my extra chain. I'm going to, I should probably move my camera down. It's really high up. Did I remove the wrong link? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to pick up, and by the way, it's loose right here, but I'm going to go back through and tighten it up again. I'm going to pick up my bicone, my blue bead. Okay, I'm going to do this on each side. Bicone. I said blicone. I cannot talk. Okay, just like that. I'm going to pick up, actually before I do that, I have my crimp hidden inside my chain, so my chain is going to be sitting in this area here. So that means I have to pick up a crimp on each side. Okay? Slide that down. And then I'm going to pick up my 5 beads, cross through them. I'm going to pass through the crimp, pass through the crimp on this side. Don't kink on me. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and pop these beads to the front. Okay, pull the sides tight, put these sides tight. Just do some adjusting here. Oh, and I forgot, I have to pass through the blue bead. I haven't actually completed this style bracelet yet, so I'm doing it for the first time with you guys. Okay, this is popping again because it's loose on me. So again, I'm going to pop that to the front. I'm just going to adjust this until it's right, because once I squeeze those crimps, I can't go back and fix it. It's permanent. Okay. And I think I have it now. Alright. So now the trick is to pull these very tight and crimp them at the same time, which is going to be a little tough. So I'm going to try to do this. Okay, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and flatten my crimp. Okay. I'm going to go from different angles here because I can't get in there all the way from one side. Alright. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a little bit tricky, I haven't done this yet. I just thought I could do it like this. I have my link here that's open. I'm going to put the rest of my chain back on. And this is why I told you guys not to add the, I don't know if I have this open enough. I might have to open it more. This is why I told you not to add the chainmail until after this is done, because it's going to be in the way. Okay, so I have my links here. I'm going to pass through this link that I left behind and through the crimp. I'm going to slide this over the crimp, and I'm going to hide my crimp inside of the chain. Okay, I may have to open my chain more because it's a little snug. Did you guys just hear my cat growl at me? He's teasing me. He always jumps in the back of my chair and growls at me and jumps to the sill. Okay, open that bigger. Alright, that was the problem. I got my, I let go. Just gotta get that in there. It's a little tricky. Gotta fidget with it. Okay. Close it some. The goal is to put the crimp inside of the chain. We could do it. Might be easier for some of you to do because you don't have a tripod in front of your face. I just let go of it. I will get this eventually. You know what? Maybe I should do this. This will be easier. Yes. Yes? So you want to have the crimp end first, and then the link that you left behind. Oh boy, this is going to be so hard to close because the chain is so strong. I'm going to try it like this. Alright, that's working. Wait till you guys play with this chain, it's incredible. And by the way, I did use, there we go, I got it. Okay, just like that. And guess what? It's popped to the back. Maybe I could fidget with it and get it to go to the front. I'll get it figured out. Okay, so you want to do that again. I'm not going to film it because it's going to take forever. But basically, what the problem was is you want to get your link with your extra chain. You have to have 2 extra dangles, or 2 extra links, so you can add this on, and so it, you know, comes together right. So you want to pick this up first, the crimp, and then the link. I was doing the link and then the crimp, and I just couldn't get it to fit. But if you can get that crimp in the link first, and then the extra link, then you can close it shut. And like I showed, it was easier to just go like this and crimp it instead of trying to grab both ends because it's so small and it's a tight section. But yeah, just fidget with it and you'll get it. Okay, so go ahead and do that side, and once you do, I'll come back and show you what to do next. Slow and steady wins the race. So I finished it, and it actually feels a lot looser. This is its drape on me, and I can slide it up to the point where I wash my hands and it doesn't get wet. So I would like it a tad bit smaller, but I think I'm going to leave it like this because I don't want to make it get wet, which I don't have thread in it. So it should be fine getting splashed, but I don't know how well the chain or the findings would hold up for water for long periods of time. It could start rusting. But anyways, I finished it, and I'm going to zoom in on this, and I want to tell you guys, because I don't want you guys to have problems like I did. I did put the biggest lobster claw on here because the bracelet is so huge. I felt that I needed something bigger so that, oh gosh, I can't think of the word, because something more substantial of a clasp to put on it, because a smaller one I thought would look strange. So to keep the flow going, I put a huge lobster claw on it, and I used 3 tiny jump rings to connect it there to the chainmail. And I could have just done 2, but it's so heavy I thought 3 would be fine, and it fits in there fine. And this side down here I used a giant jump ring, and I think if I had a smaller clasp and a smaller jump ring, it would probably fit perfect. But I'm just gonna leave it as is. It's pretty nice. So usually when I make jewelry, I make several pieces, and part of why I do it is so if I do one piece in the video, I know that I'm going to run into several problems. So I like to make a few pieces, and I get to see all the problems that I could have, and also I like to try different materials, so I could tell you guys bead alternatives. Well, for this I tried to stay with the dollar bead box materials, so I didn't use any beads that I already have. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, if I was able to make 2 of these bracelets and have one of them finished, I would have known how tough it was to put the chain link over top of the crimp. And I didn't know because I didn't actually finish the bracelet by myself. I did it with you guys. So if I were to make this again, I would probably use the bead stringing wire, but I would not use crimps. I would not take those links off like I did. I would have left the links the same, and I would have put my chainmail on, okay, And then I would have pulled it really tight like I showed you, and I would have gone up the side tying knots with the bead stringing wire or monofilament. But if I were to do this again, I would not use crimps. I did get my way around it, but I don't want you guys to have any problems, and I usually, you know, tell you guys all the problems that you're going to have, and I wasn't expecting to have that problem. So if you're going to make this, do not use crimps if you don't want to be frustrated. But other than that little issue I had, the bracelet turned out beautifully. I love it. And I was thinking, because of how these glass beads are shaped, this would be an awesome bracelet done with paper beads. Just another idea for you guys. You know how you can make like 3/4 inch paper beads that are long and they're rice shaped, like a big giant piece of rice? Those would be really cool for this bracelet. I'm really happy with this. I'm happy that I was able to show you guys how to do the chainmail, because I've never done chainmail in my videos, and I think this is a really awesome piece. I'm really happy about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry we've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching this long video.